Hello, I'm Courtney Wright. I'm married to Barrett Wright. We have two children, Nolan and Emmett. We've been coming to Radiant Life for about 3.5 years. My story begins a little over a year ago in September of 2012. On September 6th, as I was visiting with my mom, we had a sheriff show up at the door who came in and proceeded to give us the news that my little sister had passed away. She was 25, very unexpected. Never in my life did I imagine that that was the news that he was coming to share with us. It broke my heart. It was the hardest thing I'd ever had to deal with. But I had two children. Emmett was 2 and I was about 5 months pregnant with Nolan. So I knew I had to be strong for them. I didn't want to send myself into a frenzy and cause any harm to the baby. So I just kind of put my game face on, and I knew there's plans that had to be made. I had to be there for my mom. So I would say the next probably 6 months, the rest of my pregnancy, I felt like I was just kind of walking around in a daze. It was hard to stay in touch with my emotions because I didn't want to get really upset. I wanted to stay healthy and focused for my baby. So in January 14th, 2013, we welcomed Nolan into our family. Of course, one of the happiest days of my life. I wish so badly my sister could have been there. She was more excited than anyone that I was pregnant. She adored Emmett. She would have done anything for him. She did do anything for him. I so badly wish she could have been there. But after the few weeks, everyone kind of goes back to their regular routines. Barrett had to go back to work, and I was left in a house by myself with a 2-year-old and a newborn. And I began to just think about how badly I wish that my sister was here. And I think at that point is when I actually began to grieve her death. And that, along with the postpartum that a lot of moms face, it really sent me into a dark place. I was really unhappy. I wasn't a very nice person to be around. I just kept waiting for someone or something to come along and heal me of my unhappiness, of my bitterness, of what was going on. While I was on maternity leave, we had our women's class with the Secrets book. One night while we were in class, we read a passage that just really spoke to me and said, you are responsible for your own happiness. You can't rely on the people around you. You can't place those expectations on your husband to make you happy. Also, what the book stressed was to cast those cares and worries on God. And God was there for me. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks that why am I carrying around this weight and this worry and trying to do it on my own when I can just give it to Him? And so that's what I did. I gave it over to Him. I apologized to my family, and I began to see the happiness around me and begin to enjoy life again and enjoy my family. After coming through the battle with depression, I was really starting to feel good and starting to feel like myself again. I was going back to work. The routine around the house was getting in order again, and then the devil started to attack me in a different way. I think every new mom would agree, those first few weeks, maybe even months with your newborn, you're just trying to figure each other out, and you kind of look at him like, is this really my child? And the devil used that and began to press this fear in me that something was going to happen to Nolan. I could just hear him saying things like, I took your sister at a young age, why wouldn't I take your baby? And I began to live in fear of that. I was on my way to work one morning, and it was pressing on me so hard. I was just about in tears, and then it was just like a light came on, and I recognized what was happening, and I just yelled as loud as I could in my car, in the name of Jesus, leave me alone. And it was gone. He was gone. I knew that was the devil trying to make me live in fear instead of living in faith. And God told me to get rid of him. And I've always known, in the name of Jesus, be gone. He must leave and he must flee. And he did. And just to top it off, after all that happened, I was really in the moment, and I could just feel my chest, my heart beating out of my chest. And then the song came on, Just Say Jesus. Don't know what to say, just say Jesus. And it all just came together so wonderfully, and there's just no denying that God was there and he was in there, and he rescued me yet again from a dark place. You gotta believe it. He will rescue you. Just call out to the way that you. It's safe to say that this last year and a half or so has been a very challenging one. I lost my sister, I had a baby, and dealt with postpartum, and then the fear of losing my child. But the one constant through it all was God. He brought me through it. He was there for me. He showed me mercy and grace and freed me from all of those worries.
Just say Jesus.